I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other sentiments shared. I've seen so many great tributes that probably can't be put into words by me, of all people. My main thing that I want to say is, well done, my good and faithful servant.
It's hard for me to put into a few words a lifetime of love, laughter, and teachable moments. I've gained so much from just being Shirley Levy's daughter, and I just go back to earliest memories of her starting each day with Mass, and that was something that a very important lesson in my life, that she put God first in everything that she did, from worrying about the children to making major decisions to things that she did not understand, and she would just put it in God's hands.
It's hard to say goodbye. We wish that we had more time with her, and perhaps that during the time that we had spent more of it together with her. While we know that she is at peace now together with Pops, there is both pain and sadness. But even though she is gone, she has left the legacy of her love, her kindness, and her willingness to give of herself to others. The many ways she touched everyone's lives will remain. And there are literally hundreds of lives that are better today because they were touched by Maw-Maw.
Maw-Maw, I've never known anyone genuinely loved by more people than you are. You dedicated your life to growing and helping your community through faith, family, and generosity. Your life was a sublime example of how we should strive to live. You will be greatly missed. Love, Scott, Melanie, and Muriel.
I'd like to talk about what my mother meant to me and in my life. Everybody's, I know, talking about the religious aspect of what she meant to them. That was a very important part of her being and my father's being, and what they wanted to impart on us. But I'm going to talk about some of the fun things about Maw-Maw. As a child, we had great fun in our family. It was not unusual after dinner to have spontaneous dance parties around our kitchen table, which was big enough to seat 22 people. So it was a pretty big dance floor going around that table. And Pops would often put on his South Rampart Street Parade album, and he'd hand out paper napkins and teach us how to second line. Always making sure that we knew that we had to dance like as if the inside of our thighs were chapped. That was the proper way to second line. My favorite song that we would dance to was When the Saints Go Marching In.
Maw-Maw always had a big smile on her face and brought joy to everyone. In her final years, as her mind was going, she knew what was happening and went with the flow. She knew her memory wasn't there, and yet she always smiled and played along. A few years ago, I told her I'd give her $100 if she remembered my birthday. With a big smile on her face, she looked at me and said, "Your birthday? I don't know who you are." That was the epitome of Maw-Maw. Always turning the negative into a positive and making the best of any situation.
Just wanted to say, Maw-Maw, first of all, I have graduated high school. I know it's been a decade since you've been asking me if I've graduated, and I have. Now we're here. I just want to say, on behalf of my family, we're all going to miss you. You were very loved by everybody, and you really showed us what it means to plant your roots down in a city and stay strong.
So she would take me at this young age. I got to see Oklahoma, South Pacific, and Carousel. And that is what started me on my love of Broadway plays.
I especially enjoyed all of our sing-alongs to Fiddler on the Roof and Sound of Music. Your continuous yes to Jesus and all of the sacrifices you made are a true example of the love you have and devotion you had for your family.
And I know my mom and dad enjoyed taking care of you, and I remember Maw-Maw cracking up telling me how she was giving my dad a blanket one time because he would sleep on the couch when he was here. And when he opened up the blanket, it was actually a tablecloth. And she was cracking up, and it was just so precious because it was those simple things in life that gave Maw-Maw so much joy in her later years.
She enjoyed life. I think I got that from her. I'm a party animal, just like she was.
My first paycheck, I splurged on Maw-Maw. I love going to have tea at the Winter Court, and I wanted to take Maw-Maw. So I took her and I saved up just enough money to where I could afford, you know, the basic tea party together. Well, Maw-Maw saw that there was another tea party we could go to where it included not just tea, but sherry. So she introduced me to a new kind of tea party that day, and I will never forget it. I'm so glad that I had that moment to cherish with her.
We could talk for hours of all the qualities that endeared you to people. We are Levy grandchildren after all. However, as only you could, you taught all of us two qualities particularly that deserve praise: your ever-present joy and your abundant love. Maw-Maw, to you, life was a musical. You rarely were without a song on your lips. You marched to the beat of your own drum, and you were always looking for others with which to share the stage and sing along. Countless refrains of Oklahoma, the Mount Carmel, and the Jesuit fight song echoed through our house. You always were at your happiest in the middle of a chorus, with the twinkle of mischief and playfulness in your eyes as you sang the next note.
Shirley passed away with what I call our steel magnolias. My 7 sisters were there with her. Jackie and Kathy, Peggy, Shirley, and of course the 3 little ones, Terry, Dane, and Marie. I was not able to be there to say goodbye, but the fact that you 7 were there, holding her hand and saying the rosary with her when she passed is just extremely comforting. And I can't tell you how much it means to all of us that you guys were there in the last minutes, the last hours. You guys took care of her for the last years of her life. And yes, the boys were there to help too, but you guys are the heart and soul of this family. And I just can't tell you how much I love you all. So, Shirley, we love you. Goodbye. You're now up in heaven with Dad. And Dad, I hope she hasn't driven everybody crazy up there by singing the Jesuit fight song over and over again. So, love you guys, and I know we'll see you again at some point in the future.
Maw-Maw, you always amaze me how you raised 7 beautiful girls and 4 bad boys, and still always kept your cool and always had it together. Even with all that, you found time to take care of your mother like your kids did for you. I am happy knowing that you are enjoying time again with one of the greatest men I knew. I am forever grateful of the faith you have instilled in all your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. We will miss you always, smiling face, and the tunes you could hit while playing that piano. Love always, Jeff, Suzanne, Callie, and Campbell.
But she and I shared a lifetime of love and laughter, and I always enjoyed her company.
She definitely lived her life as a party, and we know that it was because she was living heaven on earth, and we know she's having an everlasting party and joy right now, and we're just grateful for a life that she gave us to celebrate, and that we can continue her memories on as a party we live here on earth.
And this one, she actually named her daughter Shirley, which was for us the gift that keeps on giving, because when my mom would hear her call her name, she would look and say, "Is that child's name Shirley?" And for 2 years, we relived the joy of her hearing that child's voice.
It's a constant reminder for me of the joy that she brings to all of us every day. and she also led by leadership. I remember how well she did of taking care of her mother, and stuck out with me, even though I was just in 4th grade when she passed away, of her whispering into Grandmommy's ears the Our Father and Hail Mary when she was towards the end of her life. And I think that leadership of taking care of her mother was passed down to her kids, and how wonderful of a job they did of taking care of her in those past few years.
When I had to sum up Maw-Maw, I would think just she put everything in God's hands. So whenever I would visit Maw-Maw with life stresses on my shoulders, I'd leave more relaxed and calm and feeling like a better person. Every time, she was just a constant reminder of what mattered. What mattered is our faith. I would visit Maw-Maw, she'd point out the simple, beautiful things in life, would break out in song and talk about God, and I'd leave knowing where I came from and knowing where to direct my eyes in life. And so for that, I'm very grateful. We love you. Love you.
Love you, Mom.
We learned so much from you throughout our lives, and as sad as it is now that you are gone, we know you are at peace and happier with Pops, the man you started this incredible family with. Love you, Patrick, Kelly, Cameron, and Ella.
I can't sum up my mom's life, or my mom and dad's life, with anything other than faith and family. That was their bedrock. That was the example that they didn't try and pass on to us. It just passed on because that's how they lived their life. You often hear about preaching the Gospels, and that's what they did. And sometimes they actually used the Bible for it. Their lives preached the gospel to everyone they came in contact with.
Maw-Maw was a true blessing in all our lives. Her faith was such a strong influence on all her family and everyone that she knew. She touched a lot of people with her great attitude and outlook on life. Her spirit will live on through all of us. Maw-Maw was the most uplifting person we knew. She lifted us with strong, positive beliefs. Now she is in heaven with her two favorites, God and Pops, looking down and smiling on us. She was an angel on earth. We love and miss you, Patrice and Patrick.
I'm sure Dad and all the angels and saints have handkerchiefs, and they are second lining because they are welcoming the newest saint that's marching into heaven. Go dance for eternity. I love you.
Oh, whatever happened to that peach of emerald hue, warmed by the sun and kissed by the dew? Ah, well, its mission on earth is through. I do, I do. Shirley May, you made my day. Much love, Dana Lou.